All right. Welcome back to another episode of Issues for 11-3. I'm your favorite not hater, Mr. Brown, at this point. Another glorious Sunday that we are able to see. But before I get started, right, I want to take the opportunity to thank everybody that's been tuning in. Thank my guest for the last week, two episodes last week, Timothy Fraylon and Brother Floyd, Pastor Floyd Johnson. Sorry. Appreciate you fellas for coming on and telling your stories and just able to chop it up and give some jewels to the people out there in the community. Definitely appreciate you guys for that. You know, another Sunday, another crop of issues, but this is a big issue. We got coming up on Tuesday. You guys know what it is. It's the election. So, we going to talk a little bit about it, talk a little bit about some stuff I saw in the news over the past week, and, basically why it's important to get out here and vote. So, if y'all rocking with me, let's do this. All right, so starting off with the comedian Tony Hinchcliffe. Make sure I say his name right. Tony Hinchcliffe. He made a mistake by making that joke about Puerto Rico being a floating island of garbage. Okay? Shout out to all my Puerto Rican people, first and foremost. I've been to Puerto Rico. It's a beautiful place to be. The ocean and just the whole ambiance of Puerto Rico, period. It's just a great place to visit. If you've never been, hey, perfect time to go visit Old San Juan and all the other pieces of the island. But listen, if you supporting Trump, and again, I've been a person that's been pretty much straight down the middle when it comes to endorsements, but if you're rocking with the Trump camp per se, right? Hey, his whole political career has been tied to making these type of racial statements, and then once he gets exposed, man, he tries to back away from it. Now, again, I'm still not telling people who they should vote for, right? I'm not in the business of doing that, but at the same time, man, sometimes you gotta take a stand, and racist remarks and racist statements shouldn't really be tolerated by anybody. Just me being objectively honest, right? And Puerto Rican people did nothing to that comedian nor Trump to deserve those type of remarks being made about their island. I know a lot of Puerto Rican people, they take a lot of pride in their island, and they disrespected black people too, from what I hear. Talk about watermelon and fried chicken. Like, we're not really associated with that. We love watermelon and we eat fried chicken. Okay, cool, but some black people don't like watermelon. Some black people don't like fried chicken. Why would you quote that island and say that island is a floating island of garbage? If unless you've seen it, and then okay, but if you ain't seen it, you just trying to be funny, like, dude, that's the wrong time. And that remark hurt a lot of people, and it changed a lot of people's minds as far as voting is concerned. So look for that to play a part too. People don't forget comments that you make about their homeland, their country, their island, whatever you might, whatever you want to call it. Like, people won't forget that. They'll remember that when it comes time to go to the polls on Tuesday, or if they voted early, they probably change their vote, voting for Harris. I don't know. Listen, man, but truthfully, with the racial statements, like, there's so much diversity in the world. Like, to just continue to make these type of statements in society to get a laugh, or like, that's corny at this point. Find another angle. If you don't got nothing to talk about, then you shouldn't be talking. But that's just me. You know what I'm saying? Man, listen, just making my thoughts and my observations. When it comes to this election, though, it's going to be dead serious come Tuesday when you're standing in them lines, depending on where you live. It's going to be a lot of tension going on. Okay? We saw it in 2016. You saw it in 2020. You saw the insurrection in, 2021. There's going to be a lot of people out here, showing their true colors, if you want to say. Ballot boxes is being burned already. They had to put special little fire stoppers in the ballot box to keep them from being burned. People do not want this type of change that could be on the horizon, right? They didn't want it in 2016 when it came to Hillary. They don't want it now, especially when it comes to a woman of color taking the office, okay? People saying, "Oh, it would have, it would have been easy if it was Michelle Obama." No, it would have been 10 times worse if it was Michelle Obama, because her husband already was president and they did not appreciate it then. So you can only imagine if she was running for president, it would have been worse, which is probably why she did not run. It makes total sense, because I wouldn't have put my wife in that predicament either. Like, nah, you're not running. You can do your other side things, write a book, whatever it is, but you're not putting yourself in that predicament. Vice President Harris has decided to offer herself and put herself in that position, but hey, she gonna need a lot of protection if she does go on to win and become president, because people are going to do crazy things, whether for attention, whether for the loyalty from her competitor, whatever the case may be. It could happen. Like, you gotta think about it. You hate to put yourself in that thought process and thinking that way, but at this point, the way that America is set up, anything could happen. You know what I mean? It's just the way it is. Like, you wish that people would just be civil, cast your vote, and keep it pushing, but people are going to be out there in droves. Some people are going to be starting good trouble, like John Lewis, and then some people are going to be starting bad trouble. And those people that start in bad trouble, it's going to be crazy. So as you get to the polls, or as you go to the polls, man, be mindful. You know what I mean? Just watch your surroundings. You never know what might happen. And, make sure you get out there and vote. Now, to the people that's still on the fence, right? Because it's people still out there like, I don't know, I'm not voting, right? To the people on the fence, I hope that on Tuesday your mindset has changed. Whether you're watching this podcast or just your own thought process, you change your mind, right? Because just remember, if you don't vote, you can't complain about the way things go in the world if you don't vote. This is your opportunity to make your voice heard. You might say like, it don't matter or whatever. But again, like I told you in earlier episodes, even on earlier issue episodes, your vote may not affect anything now, but it may affect your child's life or your child's life, your grandchildren as you go older. This election could turn the world around at this point from what I've been seeing, right? But if you don't vote, you can't complain. It's your opportunity to speak up and make a change. Get to the polls. Stand in the line if you have to. Cast that ballot. Again, like I said, if not for yourself, for the children in the future that you want them to have. You want them to have a better future? Vote right now on the policies that you think are necessary for change. Plain and simple. And that's pretty much all I got to say about that. Those people that have voted early, congratulations. You got it out the way. Like I said, those people like me that's going to be in line on Tuesday, hey, we going to be in line, patiently waiting. I hope you patiently wait to vote, and make that thing happen. It's definitely needed. If you support President Harris, she's going to need all your votes. If you support Vice President, if you support President Trump, he's going to need your votes. Vice President Harris and former President Trump, that is. Everybody's going to need a vote, right? You got other races going on too, depending on where you live. It could be Congress, Senate, whatever the case is. Make sure you vote for those people too. They run their commercials just like Harris and Trump have. I see Jahana Hayes and George Logan. They got a tight race. I think all these races, to be honest, are going to be very tight. People, they want change and they want to see different. And if, it's going to come down to the wire. I kid you not. Like, that ain't even being cliche. It's going to come down to the wire. But with that, that's all I'm going to say about that. Voting is important. Episode coming this week on I can't even remember now. Boundaries. There we go. Episode coming this week on boundaries. I just had a brain fart. Episode coming on boundaries this Wednesday. Like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend to tell a friend. Peace and love. I appreciate all the love y'all been giving at this podcast, man. It's definitely been motivating, man. Let me know I'm doing the right thing. I just hope that you learn something from this one. So by the time y'all see me on the next episode on Wednesday, we're gonna have a new president, hopefully, if the votes get counted correctly. That's the other piece. But like I said, peace and love. Y'all been great. Continue to be great. I'll see y'all on the flip side. One.